acknowledge, recognize, and celebrate those who implement strategies to support of the campus vision.
Well, right now our campus vision includes a lot of tech. So they support it by having devices and training on how to implement different applications of technology to enhance GT students as well as all students.
And we have a huge support from the PTA on that piece. They just provide us with some Apple TVs to help that succeed with the iPad devices. And that way we get instant feedback from the students.
Yes. We also have some groups with the Lunch Bunch that will pull kids for social and emotional needs, which I think is very unique to our school, being a GT population.
And in kindergarten, we have the school psychologist does a second step once a week with us. That way we can work on the kids on how to deal with homework, deal with their friendships and so forth, and get through the day without meltdowns.
Right. So so the vision, the part that you're mentioning, our Holstrom is a gifted magnet school. So part of the mission and vision is to support those needs, unique needs of gifted and accelerated advanced students. And the other piece is excellence. Excellence is a tradition. So how do you feel administration may recognize excellence?
Well,
and celebrate excellence.
There's the positive behavior, positive referrals that if we see a child that is excelling very well and doing just fabulous, we can send a positive referral up to the office and they will recognize that student. And same thing with staff members, we can do little all-star tickets and recognize each other for the excellence in staff.
Right. And learning is, they try to do bell to bell and they try not to interrupt your class at all for excellence. Traditions to keep the teaching as steady as possible, different areas.
Okay. Let's take a look at number 2. How are these contributions and achievements effectively communicated to the staff, students, and community? So with those unique needs of gifted and striving for excellence, how do you think those are communicated to staff, students, and community?
Well, I think we do a really good job of the community piece, because on the website, you know, being #1 school in the state, it was all over the website and stuff, and I think our parents are very active in knowing. So anything that's special gets posted right on immediately to the Holstrom Facebook. So if someone's doing a roller coaster run, they'll take pictures of it and post it immediately, or any cool art thing going on, any kind of engineering design in the classroom gets posted. Anything with our community school garden gets posted.
And we try to do that with our individual class websites also, and communication with the parents. Communication with the parents is huge.
Right. So would you say that the mission and vision is communicated to parents or families interested in Holstrom, or new kinder families looking for a school?
Yes, because we have something called Parent Night. So there's a postcard that gives some bullet statements that goes out to all the preschools of our great school. And then when they come on Parent Night, our wonderful administrator goes through what Holstrom is and the different expectations of it and stuff, and then highlights some of the neat things we do. And we have a huge alumni that comes back on each Parent Night that really talks about what Holstrom did for them, and that's really what we want. We want lifelong learners.
Yes.
And our vision as a school supports lifelong learners.
Okay, would you say students are familiar with our mission and vision, with you know, striving for excellence and always doing your best, or maybe even learning about their own gifted characteristics? What are some positives you've seen teachers with that teaching?
Well, with individual conferencing of kids, we bring out their strengths and really try to get that to go forward and deeper. And
Learning style.
learning styles.
That we have a learning style survey that they take, kind of to pinpoint what their learning style might be. Great, most grade levels do that as well, to see where their strength is. And the fact that we say you are in a great school and your job at school is to be excellent and to do your very best at all times, and to always strive to be a lifelong learner. So I think it's communicated through daily
Yes.
announcements and through different classes. And I think the teachers' high expectations here also bring up
Yes.
that. And then the parents want it too. It's a partnership. It's a three-way. It's the student, the parents, and the teachers.
Yes.
Good.
And we emphasize that with our kindergarten information nights too, and back to school.
Good. Do you think there's anything we could work on with the communication of that, or consistency maybe, or just
Well,
challenges?
We have some new leadership this year, so she's trying to find the best balance for what direction our school will be going into, and trying to see where our school will fit in our district now, and just looking at that bigger vision piece. So I think there's more to come with that piece, but she's working on coming up with a plan, and we're all part of the plan, so it's going to be a process, but I think in the end we'll see some good things come from it.
Good. All right, let's move on to number 3. How does the campus use innovative thinking, risk-taking, or failures as a learning experience to promote the campus vision?
You see a lot of that in the tech piece. Mrs. Israelson with 21st Century really promotes explorations, extensions, creativity, critical thinking skills, and we do that in the classroom also. But I think Mrs. Israelson goes way above and beyond.
I would agree.
I mean, she's amazing to that piece.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we do acknowledge, not just here at school, but some of their outside activities with risk taking and stuff. And I think teachers model all the time not
Absolutely,
succeeding the
but-
first
yeah.
time.
And what do we do?
Right.
So
When-
with failures,
right.
learning how to struggle.
Mhm.
And how, it's really hard to get it the first time. And I think, sometimes in the older grades, they like show pictures of Einstein's desk area and just some of the things don't just happen the first time around. And that's one of the tricky parts with teaching GT kids is, although you get things right away, sometimes you still have to work at what you're trying to learn and move forward with.
Okay. So from a teacher perspective, would you say that teachers feel like they can fail or struggle in terms of their profession here at Holstrom?
No.
It's uncomfortable?
It isn't. Yeah, it isn't.
I'm like, no.
Yeah. So
No,
what
you
are some
can. I always-
challenges? What are some challenges
Well,
with that?
I'm on the next block over, so I'm a type B personality working in a type A school. So it's a constant battle for myself. And no, in fact, it's extremely difficult to work in this school, but that's why we're excellent. So
Yeah.
if you're not working 12 hours a day, maybe this is not the school for you.
So if you've had some times where you felt like you didn't know something, like a piece of technology, did you feel comfortable asking for that help and support?
With technology, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
With some other things, fake it a little bit. You get someone that you can trust a little bit.
Mhm.
It's all about
Okay,
Yeah,
teamwork
teamwork
it
and
is
trust.
teamwork and trust.
So maybe work on some trust here.
Yeah.
To because if we're teaching our kids it's okay to struggle and fail and ask for help, then we as teachers should be able to
Yes,
do that
and
too.
positive feedback.
Okay.
And working on that positive feedback
Right.
to help you get past those failures.
I think it's hard as teachers are evaluated, just like with kids. It is hard when we say, well, that's not what I meant. This is what I meant. I'm sorry you caught me on a rough day with a lesson, instead of having to stop and think, well, maybe I'm going to grow from this. I think it's a hard, because everyone wants to do it right the first time. I mean, I think it's just human nature
Yeah.
to want to do that.
And
so,
I think that's just the definition of excellence itself. When our mission is to be excellent,
Yes.
we sometimes it may be difficult to not be excellent or work.
right.
Yeah.
And those failures make you stronger as a person.
They do.
And I think sometimes we do lose sight of that. Like, we need
Yes.
to know life is a work in progress and we're doing the best. But, you want it to be here because the expectation's so high that sometimes when you fall short, it's not a very good feeling.
So building those trusting relationships with a go-to person to help with support is
Yes,
necessary.
it's
Right.
huge.
I would say that's the number one thing.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to the last question, number 4. What processes are used in improving morale, which moves the campus toward the realization of the campus vision?
Is this for teachers or for students?
We can do both.
Well, for kids, it's easy. We have a STAR system. We have behavior PBIS system in place for them. For staff, again, we're under some new leadership styles, so we're all just learning with the expectation and where we're at. With it being a highly competitive school in staff, it does make it a little bit more challenging. So we do some icebreakers for improving morale, and
We celebrate a lot in our grade levels.
we celebrate in our grade levels. Yep. And I think it's tough because we're a K through 8 school, so trying to get the whole staff together, and we have very long hours here, that it's really hard to build that community between everyone. But
Yes.
I think it's definitely a goal, and I think this new leadership that we're seeing, that's a goal of hers too. But I wouldn't speak for her, but I think maybe that might be one of her
Yeah.
goals as well.
And with more vertical teaming
Alignment.
too, alignment and teaming.
So I think it's coming. There's just a lot of demands placed on District 12 in general.
Do you have K-8 traditions or community events that you feel are either work or new ideas for those?
Yes, we have Pi Day,
Yes.
which is unique to Holstrom. We K-8, we have a science fair, we have a talent
Yeah.
show. We have
Fun runs. We have a
Fun
lot of things with PTA. PTA is a huge piece
Yep.
on providing that community support. For kindergarten, as a team, we work on our family night to start building that community and networking, so where all the parents get together and we eat and have programs so they feel that trust and feel that bit of community.
How are there specific events that parents are part of here? Like,
You mean like a game night and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, through PTA,
Yeah.
we have game night, movie nights, all kinds of neat things for
Okay.
people. There's like a harvest thing. We have a Renaissance festival. Honestly, we can be kind of a little bit too much of a lot of things here. And if there's a cause, there's probably a fundraiser for it at some point in our
Yes.
school.
okay.
So we can go a little overboard.
Everybody's dedicated and very passionate.
Yes, because I mean, I run junior student council. We have a fundraiser. There's so many fundraisers, so
Yeah.
there's lots of opportunities to be involved in giving outside of your own
Yes.
community.
So with students, I know in general they're happy to be here and they like Holstrom, and alumni that has left and come back, they have great things to say about Holstrom. But there is sometimes, what I've heard, issues between the two programs. So kids in GT and then kids in AAP may not necessarily mesh well, or they may have just a different perspective of what that means. So how would you say in general, or specific teachers, what they do to blend the two programs socially or friendship wise?
Well, I start off right away with kindergarten. It's just a different type of learning style. We don't emphasize the GT. We really work, you just learn differently.
I don't see it as an issue as much in primary because in second grade we rotate through kids a lot. In first grade they rotate through kids, and so I think
It comes
you know,
up
as they
later.
become more aware with their parent thing, we haven't had to deal with that as much on the primary. So maybe just because you know.
And it is a parent subject. I mean, it really is. It's a lot of it's influenced through the parents.
But when second grade goes to training, we just say we're a second grade teacher. We
Yeah.
never say a label with anything.
So would you say part of our mission and vision should focus on that it is just learning differently, so that parents right from the beginning
Learn.
can start framing
Right.
their perspective?
I think
and-
that's
That would be
great.
wonderful.
They do learn differently.
Yeah.
You know, and we also have some great high achieving kids. So
Mhm.
it's awesome. It's a great school to be at.
Okay, so do you have anything else you'd like to share about the mission and vision, the work, the revision that we're doing with that?
Well, really focusing on the positives. We're really trying to work on that piece and celebrate what we have done as a school. And we've been very blessed with what we've accomplished so far, with sometimes a little bit of